All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into the philosophy and like the deeper meaning behind martial arts.
Oh, cool.
So we're going way beyond, just like roundhouse kicks and all that stuff,
Right.
getting into, what it really means to practice martial arts.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I thought was so interesting is we've got this combination of personal reflection on years of training
Mm-hmm.
and then this academic article that takes kind of a different angle.
I like that. I like that a lot. Combining like the lived experience with the academic.
Exactly. And seeing
Yeah.
where they intersect and, maybe where they diverge a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So the personal reflection starts with this killer quote.
Okay.
It says, Budo heart is truly the essence of our journey in the martial arts.
Wow.
And that's attributed to Hatsumi Sensei,
Okay. Yeah.
who's a, big name in the martial arts world. So we talk about setting the tone for this whole reflection.
Yeah, Budo heart. That's interesting. What do you think that means?
Well, it seems like it's really getting at this idea
Right.
that martial arts is so much more than just like the techniques and the fighting.
Right, more than just the physical stuff.
Exactly. It's like cultivating a certain spirit or character.
Right, and the reflection kind of goes into that.
Yeah, totally. And talks about the dojo being like this
Mm.
microcosm of life and how,
No, interesting.
you're learning these skills that apply everywhere, not just in training.
Makes sense. What
Yeah.
kind of skills? What are we talking about here?
So the reflection breaks down specific qualities that are associated with Budo heart.
Okay.
Things like discipline, respect, perseverance, even humility.
Oh, wow, those are huge.
I know, right?
Mhm.
And you think about it and it's like, yeah, you need those in the dojo,
Right.
but you need those in life too.
Absolutely. You need discipline to just like show up every day.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And to stick with it even when it's tough.
Yeah, that perseverance piece. And the respect thing too, like respecting your instructors, respecting the people you're training with.
It creates this whole environment where everybody can kind of grow and learn together,
Yeah, for sure.
And I was thinking about the humility part. It's like you're constantly being challenged in martial arts.
Mm.
And so you're constantly reminded that there's always more to learn.
Always room for improvement. You're never going to be perfect.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's a good lesson for life too.
It is.
So speaking of learning and self-cultivation, that's where that academic article comes in.
Oh, right. Tell me about this article.
It's called Olympic Samurai, Japanese Martial Arts Between Sports and Self-Cultivation by Dinesh.
Okay. Olympic Samurai. That's a pretty striking title.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of highlights this tension between the competitive side of martial arts,
Mhm.
like the Olympics and all that.
Right. Winning medals, performing in front of people.
Exactly. And then this other side, the Budo heart, this inner journey.
Yeah, totally. Like two sides of the same coin almost.
Yeah. So how does this Dinesh guy tie these two things together?
Well, he argues that even when you're focused on like the rigorous training
Okay.
and the discipline, the constant push for improvement,
Mhm.
it's all ultimately geared towards an inner transformation.
Oh, interesting. So it's like even if you are competing,
Yeah.
you're still on this path of self-discovery.
Right. He talks about how facing those challenges in the dojo, mastering a technique or even dealing with defeat,
Mhm.
that builds resilience that you can take with you outside of the dojo.
It's like that Budo heart that we were talking about before.
Exactly.
It's not just some like abstract idea. You're forging it through action, through actually overcoming obstacles.
I like that. It's really about putting those values into practice.
Yeah, and it can manifest in like everyday situations too.
How so?
Well, the personal reflection talked about how learning to control your reactions in a sparring match helps you stay calmer and more composed, even like outside of the dojo.
That makes sense. You're training your mind as much as your body.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Dinesh even goes a step further and suggests that for some people,
Yeah.
that inner journey of self-cultivation becomes even more important than the competitive aspect.
Wow. So like the competition might just be a vehicle for that inner growth.
Right. That's pretty profound when you think about it.
It is.
So whether you've ever trained in martial arts or not, I think this deep dive shows that these principles,
Mm.
the discipline, the respect, that perseverance, the humility,
Yeah.
they have this power to transform us, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually.
Totally. It's really a journey of self-discovery.
And I think that's something worth thinking about, even if you're not a martial artist.
Absolutely.
How can we bring those principles into other areas of our lives?
Yeah, that's a great question to leave people with. Really gets you thinking.
All right, well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for having me. But